We warmly welcome the esteemed universities to share their best practices and success stories that have propelled them to the top ranks across various NIRF category. And the first presentation will be by Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, Chennai, for which we welcome Professor Dr. V. Kamakoti.
At the outset, I thank the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri R.N. Ravi, for giving us this opportunity to meet and basically share some of the good and do's and don'ts with respect to NIRF. NIRF has now turned out to be one of the most transparent, most robust, and a very important indicator in the way we run the institutions. It is giving us a lot of pointers, many of them very closely associated with the development of the institution. What we have seen over the last 10 years is that every time we try to improve a parameter, that leads to something that is good for the student, and ultimately the benefit reaches the student, and that is something wonderful about this particular mechanism. We also, this time, as we heard during the award function, that there has been also a third-party audit in terms of seeing the correctness of this data, and a lot of provisions are now being made so that people can look at the data of other good performing institutions and also derive certain experiences from that and move forward. And if you have any clarifications on that, you can actually reach out back to the NBA and ask them what is, and ask them to prove the correctness of this data. I think no other national institutional ranking framework anywhere in the world has such an opportunity. I think we must thank the Ministry of Education for putting this together. So with this as a background, so IIT Madras, we've been thankful to God, thankful to all the well-wishers, and a lot of work that we had put in. We had been number one in engineering for the last 10 years consecutively, number one in overall for 7 years consecutively, number one in innovation, so we came from number 2 to number 1 this year, and number 1 in sustainable development goal, about which I would like to talk a bit to basically tell what is happening in that framework. And we always are behind Indian Institute of Science, of course the mother of all institutions in terms of research. We are number 2, but we are trying to close the gap there also. So let us very quickly go and look at this particular aspect of sustainable development goals. So there are 17 sustainable development goals that are promoted by the United Nations, and every project, every institution, every governance, everything must be aligned with this SDG, and that is the goal of multiple interactions which had been in the international forums, including the G20 that we had. So several international rankings have started introducing sustainability as a parameter. For example, QS has a separate ranking for sustainability. And so we also thought that sustainability must be a vertical insight, and that is what is introduced here. And there are 5 important aspects on which sustainability is basically evaluated. Number 1 is on the environmental resource management, which also takes into account how much electricity you spend, how much water you spend, and how much of green cover you have. So many parameters had been introduced, and I'm sure this will basically ensure that meeting some of these parameters, competing on these parameters, I think will be a very important way by which we make the institute sustainable. Actually, charity starts at home. We need to practice before we preach. I think as institutions, when we start working in these areas, I think a lot of good practice at home will give us a lot more insights, and this is a very important parameter. The green campus initiatives also are, for example, electrification of your vehicles, lot more of solar, lot more of water recycling, etc. And then sustainability focused research and innovation. So what has happened now is that there is now a way by which the Scopus and other journal publications, it's not necessarily that you need to have a sustainability as a keyword, but now they are going deep into it, and now they are rating papers in terms of how much they are aligned with the different goals. And so there's now a robust mechanism, actually powered a bit by AI also, to find out how much alignment our research and development has with sustainability. And so it is also a good practice for all of you. One thing that I had been talking about at IIT Madras, which we may follow, is that every thesis today that is submitted, whether it's a BTech thesis or a MTech thesis, any project work, we please add one paragraph at least on how it is affecting one of these 17 sustainable development goals, one or more of this. And I think that will be a wonderful step ahead. And so that is one part. The second part is that every course that we introduce, there can also be, it comes to your board of studies, etc. There can also be a small discussion on how, or one paragraph on how this is going to be aligned with the sustainable development goals. And please introduce a couple of electives in SDG. I think at least 2 electives we can do. We are working on it. I can also share with all of you. So what we are doing, and we can start that effort. And today, many schools, I'm sure at least 2 or 3 schools in Tamil Nadu, we have started the Center for Sustainability or the School of Sustainability. I think that is also very important. If we can have those things, I think that will be growing very much into this. And of course, the curricular contribution and governance and transparency. So this also brings up the ESG part of what the world is now prescribing. I think this is a very important parameter for all of us, and let us work towards it. And we will share all the good experiences. There's also the Swayam and Swayam Plus platform. We are also welcome to participate in these platforms and load your courses so that the education that you try to do it at different campuses. I think we have varieties of universities. For example, I had an opportunity to be a Vice Chancellor, additional charge of Gandhigram, which is now currently headed by Panchanathan now. I think the way sustainability is looked at that university is much different from how sustainability is looked at IIT Madras, right? So every university will have very good, great practices that we can share, and overall we can bring a very sustainable educational framework for the Tamil Nadu. So this is one very interesting and important lesson that this particular parameter of NIRF teaches us. Now going next, this time there has been a negative marking for retracted research papers, so be extremely careful on this. This brings in a lot more discipline, lot more ethics, lot more professionalism into way we promote research papers. So there should be some, especially on the experimental side, there must be a very, very strong, rigorous mechanism by which the correctness of these papers be established. Sometimes you are caught unaware, right? So somewhere some mistake happens in the code and we project its results, and when somebody else tries to reproduce it, it becomes extremely complex and sometimes very embarrassing. Today, many of the journals, friends, have this reproducibility criteria, right? So they rate the paper on reproducibility. So when you present a paper, it is now put for open review, especially in machine learning and AI. And they now take the same data set, they code, you need not even release the code, but they ask us, some journals even ask you to submit the code, and many people can now go, the referees themselves can go and try to reproduce it, and if the results are not matching, then there can be an issue. So that rigor, specifically in experimentation, must be brought in, and so there is now a very serious penalty. This time it has been light, but coming years they are going to make it much more rigorous so that our research work becomes more ethical and we bring in more professionalism. So this is another stuff, and many times these retractions are not intentional, it is because of some errors. So we must have some check and balances so that our research work is proper and correct. So of course the next part is the teaching, learning and resources. So faculty-student ratio must be improving. So that is one thing, so which is extremely high. Now we want to correlate this with especially the wellness, mental wellness, the stress the students have. Specifically, we are, so even the Honorable Supreme Court has constituted a task force specifically to address mental wellness. And one of the important things that we find is that still needs, we are not fully into this digital or online, this is all fiction. This relation between the student and the teacher is still important. And we always need somebody who will ask at least once a month, are you okay? Right? And that's very, very important. And so this low 1:10 is what is recommended by UGC, or 1:12 or something in the range. But meeting that is extremely important for us to maintain a very happy, mentally stable campus. And that's what faculty-student ratio, in addition to all teaching, etc., faculty-student ratio today plays a very important parameter there. Of course, faculty quality, so PhD, I'm sure all of you are hiring PhDs. We must encourage more PhD, admissions in your campus. And the quality of the journals. So I think many of the institutions slowly should start moving towards open access. Give more money for people to make it open access, so that more people start looking into it and you also get more feedback. And collaboration is also extremely important. So I think we must all start to collaborate. I also put a target at IIT that at least this particular, every academic year, we must see collaboration with our sister institutions. 1% at least papers must be through collaboration. So that is one thing. So let us all work together. So this collaboration, like, Tamil, we have Onru Pattal, Undu Valvu. Yes, that we should do that. And I think collaboration will improve the faculty quality in terms of, measured in terms of publication, citation per faculty, etc. The next one is infrastructure and resources. There's also very clear how much money you spend on the infrastructure and how much use it puts in. So that's a very, if you look at parameters carefully, there's a very strong relationship that goes between infrastructure spending and your achievements. It's not just you spend a lot of money on the infrastructure, but that it is very closely associated with your citations and etc., so that if the money you have spent is actually properly utilized. So care can be taken on this, but a lot more of research infrastructure development, I'm sure all of you are doing, but I think that's going to be extremely important. In this context, we can use a lot more of CSR grants, especially the central universities. We must tap into CSR grants, and that can help you develop this infrastructure in a very big way. Now, research and professional practices, of course, patenting is very, very important. I think I mentioned during my last meeting here at the same venue, there are now AI tools which are helping us make the patent very quickly. Draft the patent, even now they are even bringing us the total addressable market, whether that patent is, actually that idea is patentable or not, competing patents. So this is being working out very nicely. IIT Madras, last but one financial year, we had 382 patents. Last year we closed with 417, and this year they are very confident to close with around 500 patents. So we are moving in that direction. So there is a AI tool. So I strongly request all of you to visit IIT Madras, have a look at the tool. It's not very costly also, and they are offering it at a good academic pricing. I think that's, and also it's a Swadeshi tool. It's not some tool that is abroad, because if you use a tool search abroad, we don't know where that data goes. Friends, I hope all of you are aware of Naira. Every institution head must be aware of the Naira incident, where there is an oil company which was purchasing some deal with Russia, and Microsoft pulled the plug, and they had to go to court to access their own email and data. Right? So that was the status there. So Swadeshi is very important. I hope most of us are moving to Zoho, and we should also look at this Indian tool. Right? I have reservations in submitting my idea to a foreign tool. So we have an Indian tool. So I strongly urge that you come here, and of course funded projects and collaboration. Every faculty must start writing. Today ANRF is becoming quite big. ANRF today, sorry madam, how much time I have? If you want me to, a little bit. So I just want to, okay. Thank you. So ANRF is becoming big. ANRF comes out with almost every week one announcement. Okay, I'm also very proud to tell IIT Madras alumnus Shivku is actually heading that, and so he's also traveling incessantly to multiple institutions. He's also asking for feedback. So I think ANRF has lot of funding proposal, and every faculty, whether you get or not, friends, first 7 proposals of me got bumped. Okay, the 8th proposal was co-written by one Swaminathan of IGCAR and myself, and that got accepted. After that, I had got around 140, 150 projects I've totally, executed. But the point is, first to 14 proposals were rejected. So this is very important. So every faculty must, at an early young age, must start submitting these proposals. Don't shun away from submitting. Go and meet the committee, stand in front of the committee, present. They will ask you a lot of questions, many times irritating, many times you feel it is stupid, but it will be very thought-provoking down the line. I think this experience you must get, and please encourage all your faculty to go. And now ANRF is not only for central universities or state university, government organizations, it's also for private, right? And the next resource I want to talk about, there is startup that is coming up. Today, number of unicorns that your students have done. So we also thought startup is a big deal, right? But when we started focusing on that, basically when there is an idea and you get a patent, then some amount of mentoring. Last year, friends, IIT Madras made 103 startups. Startup Shatam we started. Every third day, one startup should be born at IIT Madras, and these only 52 of them are from IIT Madras students. 51 are outside IIT Madras. Any student who walks in, we are, and we now have this 10x. So let us all work together. Your incubation cell and our IIT Madras incubation cell can work together and quickly bring the startups. But one thing is to get the startups, give them some 10 lakh, 20 lakh grant, take some equity and make them. But that doesn't end the story. So there is this valley of death, which is looking at 1.5 to 2 crore of fund. So for deep tech startups, today the RDI, the Research Development Innovation Fund, it is about 1 lakh crore that has been announced, and it's going to be handled by the DST. Today they are coming out with multiple options. One is this Alternate Investment Fund, AIF. So please look at this Alternate Investment Fund, where if your incubator is funding for deep tech startup aligned with the goals of the RDA, there's some RDA inspired areas. If your startup is in that area, you fund X, they can give you X, right? So there can be a refinancing that can come there. So please look at all these options very carefully. Put one division which is going to look at innovation and entrepreneurship. And I think that is what is going to make Viksit Bharat 2047. It should be a technology superpower. It must be a startup nation, be a product nation. And I don't think there is nothing that we need to talk about that more, but everybody has realized this. But we need to focus ourselves. And this particular parameter on research and professional practices today is it's giving more concentration on these particular aspects. Now on the graduation outcomes, of course, these are, we have been doing this. Of course, always we have been talking about there is no placement for this, etc. But I always feel that there is a great placement opportunity in core engineering. And I have been very vocal about it, and many of the other head of the institutions. It is not just AI and ML that's going to solve the problems of the world. If you look at Operation Sindhu today, we have lot of things that we need to learn. At least we were able to map at least 16 different disciplines other than electronics and computer science, which has contributed to the successful, precise, responsible war that we had with our quote-unquote friend. And I think that is very, very important, and we must tell the students. So we are seeing a good change at IIT and probably NIT also. We saw the counseling data. I'm sure in other public universities also. Even Shastra told me that there is a good response to civil, mechanical and other engineering. Especially when you ask a civil engineering student, why you join civil engineering? He says, I liked civil engineering and then joined. Rather than saying, I did not get computer science, so I joined civil engineering. So I think that conceptual change is happening. But my humble request to all of you is that if possible, if you can go to your nearby government schools, etc., talk about other engineering disciplines, make an outreach, a consistent, thorough outreach, so that there can be a small mason in your village but that child can come and do civil engineering inspired by the grandfather or father. I think this is something which we need to do. And in this particular graduation outcome, we must now look at core engineering. India needs core engineering. Forget a bit about the salary part. The salary is also, we are also talking to NBA saying, salary is not a criteria. How much diversity we had in placement should be a criteria. But I think we will impress upon them. But I think that is one part that we need to take care. And of course, outreach and inclusion, I think all of you must start looking at online education, because we are all the top universities. Today, friends, with the online education that we started, we have 49,000 students at IIT Madras in our BS Data Science and BS Electronic Systems. And I'm very proud to tell you that 8,000 of them have less than 1 lakh per annum, right? And they are graduating very well. The salaries they get after a data science certificate program is around 6 lakhs. After a diploma, they get around the 10 lakh border. But after a BS, they are touching 24 lakhs. So I think this is a game changer for the poor. I think SDG 4, giving quality, affordable, accessible, equitable education for all. I think we must start this online mode and a more digital mode. I think that is one very important outreach activity that we need to concentrate on. So the last is on the perception. Of course, there are a lot of debate on the perception. Even Minister was saying that, perception, so everybody will look at IIT Madras as great, right? So what is the great deal about having 10% on perception? But foreign ranking today has 45% marks on. Everybody asks, where are you in the thing? I said 45% out of syllabus. I don't know. I don't know what is happening there. But 10% is given on perception. Maybe there'll be more comprehensive analysis on this and make it more robust, and whom you ask for, right? But importantly, a very good relationship between all the people who employ your students, because at least 60 to 70% of the students come to you for employment, keeping employment in mind. And a good relationship across the academic community, I think this is what perception teaches us, and we should work together to become more seen across the world. So these are the points I had. So thank you very much, and let us all work together. Now we have around 17 institutions in top 100, right, this year. Now we should go to 25, 30, 40, and probably all 100 institutions should be from Tamil Nadu. It's so great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next, we welcome Anna University, Chennai, who will be making their presentation, and the duration is for 4 minutes. All the other universities and institution, 4-minute duration is being given for your presentation. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. First of all, I wanted to thank His Excellency Governor of Tamil Nadu for appreciating the institution got good ranking in recent edition of NARF. As former director of IQAC, I am standing before you. The presentation may be a little bit different from the presentation of director IIT, because we as directors of IQAC or coordinators of IQAC, we look at data then in paragraphs which has been presented. So we participated the category of State Public University as well as Innovation University Engineering in the category of Management and Architecture. We got second rank this time, and in year of 2025, like the last time we were the first in State Public University, very meager percentage change of 0.02 in which we lost our first place. It was the thing which has been happened in rankings. The relative positions of our friends, other friends, how they are performing is very important for us. Even we performed. So we look at data, and in two phases we do analysis. The first phase is how we perform with other institutions, or what is our performance and comparatively with other institutions, and we will be able to identify the benchmark institution. This is the way we worked all these years. We were there in 32 earlier. We brought the institution to the 13 last year. This year's little bit slip was there. We are going to identify and we will work on and we will come back in the coming year. So another is how we performed ourselves from the last year to this year. There are changes which has been happened in two of our parameters, graduation outcome as well as in the research practices we made. And further, we look at individual parameters of NARF in teaching, learning, and resources. Some of the efforts we took last year to recruit people, faculties with required qualifications. We succeed. 134 faculties already recruited, and another phase of process which has been started already. So this will impact not only in teaching learning, part of ratio of faculty with students. It will also impact in the next parameter, the research, in which we need to have satisfy some of the parameters like publications and quality of publications. So in that line, this recruitment will help. And we do affected by the admission, which has been happened, the medical admission after engineering admission. There were lab seats even in Anna University because of this. That will be, that has been filled with lab seat has been filled with later entry students. So this time we will be able to succeed some improvement in student strength. And in the spending also we will be able to a little bit improve, show some improvement by having a look at how the operational expenditure is enhanced. And in the research and professional practices, you know that the publication, quality of publication are the major parameters along with the patent, as Professor said. We do have improvement in all the parameters in research and professional practices. Still, we have to work on what way we can improve. As I said, the faculty recruitment is one way, and another is already we got impressed by the research park of IIT Madras. And we are in the process of having our own research park soon. Apart from that, there were commitments for postdoctoral fellowship introduction and enhancement of the stipend given to the research scholars. Maybe now it is 50, maybe the coming year it will be 250. In that way, we are going to work and we will be able to succeed in our mission. And in graduation outcome, a little bit slip is there. We have to work on, as Professor said, we have to work on the academic rigor factors. We have to identify the weaknesses of these parameters, and we have to do some steps, as it has been mentioned here. The result analysis we made, and where we lagged, how those things we are going to do. And outreach inclusivity, in regional diversity, there are two parameters. One is other state, as the policy of institutions. We cannot do anything on that, but the international students can be accommodated there. And women diversity, we are already show some improvement. Other than that, easy, the economically and socially challenged students are provided with support for their education. We started working on that, and the other parameters we already met the benchmark value. And in perception, in state public university, we are met with the required impression in others' minds. But the other parameters we have to work on, and we have to improve a lot. So with our visionary Vice Chancellors, we will be able to position ourselves in innovation ranking in top 10. We are 10 in last year. This year we moved one position at 9 there. This is due to the efforts which have been taken in the short span of 5-6 years. So we will be going up in the coming years with the other efforts we made on this area. So this is what I wanted to convey. Thank you very much, and Jai Hind.
Thank you. The next institute for presentation will be by Savita Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences, Chennai.
His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, dignitaries on the dais, fellow academicians, ladies and gentlemen. I bring to you the greetings of Honorable Chancellor of Savita University, Dr. N.M. Virayan, and Pro-Chancellor, and also all the faculty members. Here I'm going to make a brief presentation, which will be different than the last two presentations, to tell you how CIMETS has excelled and made a mark in NIRF rankings. If you look at our achievements, there's a lot of if you look at our achievements this year, this institute is relatively young as far as university is concerned. It attained deemed university status in the year 2005. Of course, we were established in 1988 as the dental college, and we have two campuses. One is 40 acres, another one is almost 200 acres, and we have 15 constituent colleges, which includes medicine, dentistry, nursing, physiotherapy, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physical and sports science, engineering, architecture, design, liberal arts and natural sciences, law, management, and hospitality. CIMETS was recently adjudged as per the National Institute ranking framework for the year 2025. As you know, we were second. We were second in the dentistry. And Savita Dental College is nationally highly acclaimed and also globally renowned. We revered our Savita Dental College as the ultimate temple of dentistry. And you can see the facade of our college. It looks like a temple with Lord Muruga in the center and Lord Ganesha holding instruments of dentistry and treating patients in all the 9 dental specialties. And each day we have a footfall of 3,500 to 4,000 patients coming to our dental college. And we have 650 dental chairs, which must be highest in the country, we believe. And that's what makes our Savita Dental College as the renowned college. We were first rankers in the last 3 consecutive years in the year 2022, 23, 24. This year we have slightly slipped to second position, but we will regain it hopefully next year. So behind this facade of, cultural and religious temple-like, outlook, behind it is state-of-the-art facilities that are available. As I mentioned, we have 650 chairs. This is the view of operation theater that we have, which has a sky for a patient to look at, and bottom is like ocean floor. That is to make a patient comfortable psychologically. Now here you look at our students who actually, under the guidance of expert mentors, they are working on mannequins in the drilling procedures and other dental procedures before they even handle the patients. That's the kind of infrastructure our dental college has created. Now, as far as the university strength is concerned, we have over 15,000 students. We are actually a KG to PhD institution. We have Pupils Eco School, which has close to 4,000 students. If you add that to 15,000 students that we have close to about 19,000 students. And there is a healthy faculty ratio of 1:12, as you can see, with 100% faculty with PhD or equivalent as per the UGC norms. And annually, we spend about 750 crores on both CapEx and OpEx, and on salaries, academics, research, innovations, equipment, creating new infrastructure and maintenance of these. And of course, about 4,300 credits are earned online by our students. Moving on, this is our library that's called Savita Academic Infotech Library. And this looks like a sail. It's called sail. It looks like a ship. And this state-of-the-art library is equipped with modern facilities, housing around 20,000 books, and a digital library with 200 computers and high-speed internet connectivity. The library is fully automated using 2 library management software systems, providing intranet and internet access to library resources across 8 libraries in our 2 campuses. The Savita Engineering College has a computer science and engineering department with a specialization in cybersecurity, so important, offering courses that cover essential topics like network security, cryptography, and blockchains. And this is Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. We call it SHIELD, which trains all the students of EC discipline on cybersecurity. The engineering college also has advanced robotics lab and state-of-the-art prototype and product development laboratory. CIMET's students have made several innovative prototypes with potential of transfer of technology to the industry, and we are making all efforts to incubate them in our incubator and make them product ready for transfer of technology. The university invests heavily in research and innovation. As a result, from 2022 to 2024, we published about 33,000 papers in the Scopus and Web of Science journals, and which are highest perhaps in the country. Of these, 11,800 were published in Q1 journals. That tells about the quality of our publications. And the citations were 291,000, which are also highest in the country. Moreover, the field-weighted citation index, which excludes the self-citations, was 2.1. Anything above 1.5 seems to be very high in that. Based on citations and impact, 1,182 publications place the university in top 1% institution globally. It is heartening to inform that in this year, 111 scientists of our institute, they were rated as top 2% as per Stanford Elsevier global rating. Savita Hospital, attached to Savita Medical College, is 1,500 bedded hospital with 5,000 patients coming and attending this hospital daily. And this hospital has a philosophy to provide best health care with empathy. For example, upon registration, we credit 5,000 rupees to the account of every incoming person, just to make sure that his diagnosis is seamless and he doesn't have to bother about money in case he is short of money. And our institution management has been very kind to waive to the extent of 3 lakhs of rupees also in the needy cases if the patient is very poor. And last year we spent about 5 crores in philanthropy in terms of waiving off these charges. The hospital has 250 overall ICUs, and we have made a new ICU with 110 beds, which again, with the philosophy of, as I was saying, to comfort our patients with skies to be seen in ICU and floor like an ocean floor. And this is 110 bedded new ICU made in our university. And of course, it is accessible to anyone irrespective of their financial status, and no discrimination whatsoever. So here is our new Sprout clinic. This is Savita Pregnancy Rejuvenation and Ovulatory Uterine Therapeutics. We call it Sprout. It's a center for assisted reproductive techniques at Savita Medical College, which gives hope to the childless parents. We have facilities, several facilities here. Uterine insemination is done, cryopreservation of eggs is possible here, and intracytoplasmic sperm injection is done, in vitro fertilization facilities available, embryo biopsy is done, laser assisted hatching is done, and pre-implantation genetic diagnosis and counseling is also part of this facility. At Savita, we believe in small group learning. For example, in all the colleges, I'm giving an example of our medical college. We admit 250 students in MBBS every year, but we split them into 6 batches. And we have in each class only 40 students. And that too further, broken down into small clusters. And each of our classes 20 minutes teaching, 20 minutes practical, or mapping of the subject that has been taught, and this has made a big difference to the learning as far as our students are concerned. So we have what we call as integrated clinics. We have 10 integrated clinics, and each of this clinic is patient-centric. Patient doesn't have to move. Only the specialists come to that clinic based on the requirement of that particular patient. So that way we avoid a lot of chaos in our hospital, but at the same time also comfort our patients and provide them the best of the facilities in these integrated clinics. This is called Munch Market, and we have several food outlets for our students, patients, or anybody can access this Munch Market. And the university has a healthy placement record of about 90%, with median salary of 4,10,000. And we have 241 PhD graduates who are enrolled, and every other week we enroll more and more PhD students on a regular basis and part-time basis. As far as gender equity is concerned, 80% of our admin staff are women. The campus has students from all over India, and as we have 9,230 students from other states, and we have about 120 students who are from other countries, especially of NRIs families. So to sum up with all the facets and the features that I have just now spoken about, a consistent record of innovation in education and research, and significantly large investment, the university is fast climbing up the ladder of Indian and international rankings. At the very core of our university, at the very heart, is the teaching with passion, research, and innovation to stay ahead of the curve, and clinical services with empathy to all the patients, irrespective of gender or financial standing. So Savita Institute of Medical and Technical Sciences expresses our gratitude to Honorable Governor, His Excellency, for recognizing this university at the Raj Bhavan today, which is a great honor and privilege to the Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, myself as Vice Chancellor, Registrar Dr. Shija Varghese, who is here, Dean Dr. Kumuda, and Dean of Dental College Dr. Arvind, and Dean of Examination Dr. Vishnu Priya. Thank you for your patient listening. Very grateful to you.
Thank you, sir. We now welcome SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, and the duration given is 4 minutes.
Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, fellow Vice Chancellors, very good morning to all of you. NIRF 2025 ranked the higher education institution in India under 17 categories. We were eligible to submit our data under 13 categories, and we are ranked in all the 13 categories. I have not mentioned innovation because that's a band between 11 and 50. And if you look at the university, we have been gradually improving our rank since 2022. Now, what are the strategies that we focus to sustain our ranking or slightly improve our ranking? One is the faculty recruitment. As you know, teaching learning resources, it takes about 30%, it gives 30% weightage, research 30%, so more focus is made to these two categories. We focus at a faculty-student ratio of 1:15, though many other regulatory bodies say it's 1:20 and all. So consistent focus on 1:15 improves our ranking. Then we were focused on recruiting faculty members with postdoc qualification, which improves both teaching and research. There are a few departments in the university which recruits only postdoc qualified faculty as assistant professors. As on date, we have close to about 200 such postdoc faculty members who has really helped to improve the teaching learning process as well as the research. The third one is the spending. As far as the academic spending is concerned, close to 85% of our spending is towards academic and related activities. So in that way, we maintain a rigor in academics. Now coming to research, we have a dedicated Directorate of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which focuses on innovation, entrepreneurship, and also the patents. Now, patents are very, very important. In the last 4 years, we have 485 patents which are granted. And then at some point in time, we were locked. What to do beyond that? So we formulated what is called as the Industrial Research and Innovation Summit, where we invited the industry experts to visit our campus, showcased all our innovation things to them. Some were at the level of TRL 4, 5, and 6. I'm very happy to say that the industry experts who came into the campus and saw our innovation, at least 10 or 12 have gone to the next level of technology transfer, or in some cases, they'll become an entrepreneur by themselves. So patents is taken care by that. Of course, we have a dedicated research park. This was started about 7 years ago. We have a state-of-the-art facility. And by looking at the facility, there are more number of research scholars opting to join SRMIST, and therefore good research is happening. A lot of publications are happening. And as on date, we have close to 4,000 plus research scholars working for their PhD at SRM, and 2/3 of them are full-time research scholars. Now, this not only says about the publication. So initially, we were looking at the quantity of publication quality. Now our focus is more on quality. We encourage our students and faculty to publish in Q1, Q2 journals. It's 63% of our publications are in Q1, Q2 journal. So that leads to the next level of quality research. Then the support, student aid. In case of engineering, probably you are aware that the number of students opting to do master's degree is on the decline. So we started